You won't believe what's next. Dalton sent them to the hospital and had Dr. Ellie treat his old wounds, though those thugs were no threat. But because of this, Dalton made an enemy of Brant, and the whole town knew his name the next day. Surprise! Dalton entered the bookstore, chatting briefly with pretty Charlie. Meanwhile, Brant's men caused trouble at the nearby supermarket, prompting Charlie to drive them away. Seeing the fat man about to attack, Dalton stepped out. The opponent immediately surrendered. Charlie was among the few kind-hearted. Then the big guy reported back to their boss Brant on the yacht, informing him that half of the other goons were still in the hospital recovering. The plan to disrupt the hotel must be delayed. Brant seemed flashy, but was actually a useless rich second generation, since his father went to jail. He's eager to prove himself to his dad, yet has only useless goons. The hotel still had its fair share of brawls, but thanks to Dalton's guidance, he didn't even need to lift a finger. Billy and the others could handle the troublemaker. Dalton seldom spoke, chatting only with Charlie at the bookstore and spending his time alone, expecting a peaceful life. Subtitles, but to his surprise, he encountered Will, who had just been discharged that night. You bastard. Shut up, you jerk, you jerk, you jerk. You bastard. Repeated 4 times. Fortunately, Dalton was unharmed, but upon his return to the boat, Will was already there, gun in hand, shouting, "You bastard. You jerk. You absolute jerk. You complete jerk. You total jerk. You damn jerk. You damn jerk. You asshole." Dalton effortlessly tossed Will right into the water. He didn't intend to kill, but forgot crocodiles underwater. When he tried to save, it was too late. Will became croc food. Police came to recover the body, but Will was already devoured. After a long search with no findings, Dalton and Brant's conflict intensified sharply. Dalton still looked indifferent. When he walked out of Charlie's bookstore, Brant's henchmen showed up again. "Get the car. Boss wants to play with you." They pulled out a gun, thinking they could scare Dalton, but little did they know he was just amused, seeing them step closer. Dalton was so infuriated that he couldn't help but laugh out of exasperation. It seems like it's necessary to show him what true intimidation really means. I work in the house by the roadside, and am there every single night. These goons keep showing up. Dalton, fed up, sought Frankie to ask their intent. Why the focus on the restaurant? Frankie said he didn't know. Dalton stopped questioning, knowing it was more complex. The Brant family, the hidden manipulator of Glass Island, planning a development project. They had long failed to acquire the hotel land, hence the constant trouble. Suddenly, Dad called, and Brant didn't dare answer. He tossed his phone into the sea. That night, a naked man jumped from a hotel window, caught red-handed, yet waved goodbye stylishly to the woman. Strutting into the night market, he barely took a few steps before spotting a tall guy whose clothes seemed to fit him perfectly. That buff dude was Knox. Subtitles, Knox, hired by Brant's dad as muscle, aimed to deal with Dalton. Meanwhile, Dalton remained unaware. Accepting Dr. Ellie's invite, cruising into the sea on a speedboat. Arriving at a shallow near the island, they enjoyed 2 bottles of liquor. Tipsy, Ellie confesses to Dalton, but their bliss is short-lived. After Ellie sent Dalton back, police confronted him. The sheriff scolded him severely, then pulled his gun to force him off the island. Subtitles, Ellie the doctor suddenly drove up, and that's precisely when Dalton finally got the picture. Subtitles, the sheriff turned out to be Ellie's dad, a former Brant family associate, running a tourism facade to profit from drugs. This nearly matched Dalton's suspicion, making him consider if he should meddle further. That night, Brant came to the hotel himself. He showed a video of Dalton killing someone in the ring, intending to mock him, but Dalton said nothing. After Brant left, Knox strolled in with a gang of goons, flaunting their arrogance and fighting prowess. The hotel turned into complete chaos in minutes, yet Dalton remained seated the whole time. When he heard his name being called out, Dalton reluctantly made his way to Knox. Knox was a madman loving fights. Dalton feared not him, but himself. He recalled killing an opponent in the octagon out of rage, stopping only when they died. He wished to sever ties with the Brandt family. Afraid of killing again, Dalton restrained himself before Knox. After being thrown out, Dalton stood back up, a murderous look in his eyes, but somehow managed to hold himself back and returned to his boat. Dalton packed up to leave, but Frankie rushed in to stop him, admitting he had hidden the truth, knowing why Brandt was causing trouble. Subtitles. He believed that Dalton chose to leave because he was afraid of the opponent's influence. Are you truly scared? Yes, I'm terrified. More than you could ever understand. With that, Dalton headed to the bus station and saw a bunch of police cars nearby. Brandt's people even set the bookstore ablaze to oust him. Dalton, set to leave, pitied these fools. So he headed straight to Brandt's villa, only to find the little arsonists cleaning up the mess. When they saw Dalton coming, they quickly pulled out knives, ready for a... One of them got smashed in the mouth by Dalton, breaking their jaw, and was promptly tossed into the pool. Sayonara. The goon fixing a car outside saw this and grasped his situation. He rubbed his arm broken by Dalton and told him. Brandt had a deal on the beach early today. He hopped on his bike and fled. In the early morning, Dalton hauled a body case to Brandt's Deal Beach, seeing a cop with a suitcase heading for a boat. So he sneakily ambushed the cop and knocked him out cold, then opened the suitcase to find it stuffed full of cash. Dalton set the speedboat to autopilot and took off.